Scoliosis measurements typically refer to something called a scoliosis Cobb angle. And a Cobb angle is a measurement that's taken on a scoliosis x-ray that's comparing the most tilted vertebra on the top of the curve to the most tilted vertebra on the bottom of the curve, comparing these two tilts and expressing the severity of the scoliosis in something called degrees. And the degrees represents the severity of the curve, like I mentioned, and it's normally categorized into a mild, moderate, or severe scoliosis. Now, scoliosis measurements just don't include that. There are also some other measurements that can be taken, and that's something called vertebral rotation. Typically, the vertebral rotation is into the concavity of the scoliosis, and this is not measured in degrees, even though rotation could be measured in degrees. But in most scoliosis x-rays, since we're looking at the spine from the front and we're measuring, the best way to measure that rotation would be taking an x-ray from the top, which would be impossible to do, that we normally just look at the vertebra and compare anatomy. And we're normally looking at something called the spinous process, which should be perfectly in the center of the vertebra on it when it's not rotated. But as it turns, that spinous process will look off center and it'll look like it's rotating more to the left or to the right. And we can normally categorize the rotation in terms of severity by looking and comparing pre and post results. In addition to scoliosis measurements, there's something called Risser sign that's also measured on an x-ray during adolescent cases. And this is looking at something that we look at growth or development.